A very good day to you folks. Welcome to SpeedGaming 2 and welcome to the Metroid Prime 2 Echoes Randomizer 2022/23 tournament. We are in the top 8, folks, and now this is where the matches start to get really good. We have got Cestrion and LucariusLion in our first round of the upper brackets. I'm Captain MD, and today I'm joined by Baja Blood. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. Big fan of both these runners. I think it's going to be a pretty even matchup, and I'm really excited to see where this one goes.
Indeed, and it has some implications for the two of us because we're both going at it later tomorrow, and we face the winner and losers of this match respectively.
Yep. Little Oppo research here on both our ends.
Indeed. We are just about to get started. We have no RAs for today, other than the typical tournament settings. There is one minor change. I don't know if this was brought up in the match of Gollop versus Mr. Miguel the other day, but we are running on Randomizer version 5.2.1, which has a tiny logic change with regards to Central Mining Station, doesn't it?
Yes. The screw attack method being in logic. Yes. We talked about that a lot, and then I forgot, which is good to remember before our race, but just a dark ammo. Cestrion not even going to bother picking it up. And a hint that Light Beam is in Aegon Waste. Start here.
All right, Light Beam and Aegon is... A beam in Aegon in general is pretty much expected, but no special weapons to start off against Splinters, so unfortunately we're going to have to deal with this the slow way.
Yeah, we'll see if they favor the 2 halfway charge shots or the 1 charge shot and some pellets. I've seen people do this both ways on the little Splinters.
Yeah, lately I've been going full charge 5 lemons.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, Splinters have 60 HP and a full charge shot does 50, with a lemon doing 2. Ideally, you would group the Splinters up to get 2 of them in 1 charge shot. It can happen. It's not easy, though.
Yeah, if there's any sort of manipulation you can do that, I am not aware of it. It really just, for me, is just luck if they happen to group up a little bit nicely.
I find that
Okay.
I would say I find that circling tends to help because they tend to group up in trying to turn towards you.
Hmm. Cestrion with a little bit cleaner of a small Splinter fight. Will be slightly ahead entering Dark Alpha Splinter. But yeah, hard to really kind of distinguish these two runners in terms of their skill sets. I feel like they're both of their trick knowledges is top tier. They know pretty much anything we've seen in terms of tricks this tournament. Execution also, I think, really similar.
Indeed. Cestrion has trained me in a couple of very critical tricks like Abandoned Base Out of Bounds to Sky Temple Gate and Seekerless Torvis Elevator.
Yeah, the only...
From Aegon.
I might give Cestrion the slightest edge, just from, I think, having been able to play the game a bit more recently. I've seen Cestrion does practice races all the time, so that can help with routing, just kind of being fresh in terms of having seen a bunch of tournament seeds recently.
All right, we have started off with a missile launcher here on Alpha Splinter with the Sky Temple key and Transport B access. I have no idea what that is in Temple Assembly side on this resolution, unfortunately. We're going to see runners just go ahead and trigger the cutscene here to get the symbiote gas out of the picture, because that does sting. 20 damage a hit.
Yeah. You called this before the race? We got Grapple Beam and Storage Cavern B.
I mean, I did say it was going to be Screw Attack, but I don't call this... This has been the story of my year so far, this month. It has literally been, I do not call this on purpose.
Not always nice to find. Grapple not really doing much for us early tends to mean that the Screw Attack is not far behind when you see one of them this early. So
there's only... There's actually only 2 items left in play right now with this equipment, and it is this elevator item and Portal Access A.
Yep, Launcher does give us leave to climb up Mining Plaza. There's a edge case where we've got something like main power bombs in GFMC. Ooh, interesting. Bombs
bombs
from Space Jump.
All right,
So if-
2 rooms.
Yeah, go ahead.
2 rooms from Space Jump. That's really good. So there's usually assuming that they are in Aegon, because it's unlikely they would be in Torvis, as densely packed as that area is. Luckily, Missile Mining Plaza isn't too bad. They're just going to have to go around, but it looks like Cestrion's going to do some extended dash shenanigans here. Nice.
I don't know. That was interesting. Yeah, with missiles, we can shoot down these columns nice and easy. We can skip the second one with a little slope jump there, which Cestrion gets, as well as Lucarius.
All right, yeah, no idea what's in Mining Plaza right now.
Yeah, definitely difficult to see on the restream. Alright, what are we going to get here? Wouldn't actually surprise me too much if this was one of either the bombs or Space Jump. That could put the other one in a number of places.
That's something up in Mining Station A.
Interesting.
It looks like a ball upgrade of some kind. I don't think it was Space Jump. It could be Space Jump.
Nope.
It's definitely not Space Jump.
But Space Jump is almost certainly accessible then.
It has to be either in Sand Cache, Mining Station Access, or Transport Center.
I guess Sand Cache would be the one problem. Yeah, 2 of the 3 we have access to right now. And it would not surprise me if we prioritize that on both our runner sides.
All right,
Well,
we are
that
seeing...
Lucarius is actually not going immediately for... Yeah, what is this? It's a ball. Cannonball. Interesting.
That is nice to know that is there. It doesn't take too much to get that. Under ideal circumstances, you can get that with just Space Jump.
That's an annoying cannonball for me. Because I really hate the BSJ in this room, so I would want to grab that now. But I also don't want to grab that now because I haven't done the bomb slot in Portal Terminal.
There's a non-BSJ method where if you just get a jump off of the beehive on that particular rock spire, you can reach the standable terrain without BSJ.
Mm-hmm. But unfortunately, if you trigger that layer and then fight Bomb Guardian, the wafts will go away forever, and then you'll lose access to getting the item that way.
Unfortunately,
What would be, yeah.
Bomb Guardian being a little charge happy with Lucarius.
Cestrion, no missiles left for the second phase here. We'll have to improvise with a partially charged shot in order to get the 2-cycle. See if they can do it. That looks good. Nicely done.
All right, and is going to be rewarded with the Amber Translator. That is an excellent item to pick up right now, right in time to get the Aegon Energy Controller item and hint.
Yeah, always nice not to have to double dip this room. It's a little bit slow coming back here later, even though the hint is usually worth checking.
Right,
just a missile. Ooh.
Super missiles in Feeding Pit.
That's spicy.
Ouch. File that under ouch.
So that's going to be a light suit requirement. Yes, that's
So-
not thrilled by that.
Hey, and unfortunately, in Cestrion's case, that means there's a suit in Plane of Dark Worship. Sorry, that's been a running theme in his races lately, where in most occasions the other suit is in Plane of Dark Worship, and usually it ends up being Cestrion's first.
Yeah. Yeah, that is kind of a running... So with the new multi-pickup placement, when it wants to give you something like light suit to do a light suit check, it can now place the second of the pickup somewhere locked behind the first.
Hey, would you look at that?
And because Dark Suit is...
On the subject of Plane of Dark Worship.
And yeah, Dark Suit on its own doesn't open much besides playing a Dark Worship, and so you'll often find that the intended Light Suit is there. Cestrion's gonna love that.
The raid shots continue. We'll be seeing a lot of those today, folks.
Dark Suit doesn't completely mitigate the Inkclaw. So for some reason, the Inkclaw damage still holds if you pick up Dark Suit while in that room. So you will have reduced damage from not taking the Dark World damage in your way back, but you still will take a decent amount of damage.
Another progressive suit can be found in Dark Aegon.
Okay.
Now that doesn't necessarily rule in a Morbus just yet. It's definitely good to consider that, but at the same time, no sign of any red keys. It's a little early to be thinking about that.
Oh my, a vanilla suit and a Pod W suit would be amazing. Especially given that it's lacking supers. We still haven't tracked down this Light Beam, which is in Dark Aegon, which might be the play Cestrion's making here, heading towards labs.
Yeah, with bombs, command center is very much in play, and if this command center ends up being screw attack, then central mining station becomes in play, as we had just discussed earlier with the updated screw attack for central mining station logic. A new hint.
We still have... Oh, okay. Well, Cestrion is on the right track. That's interesting. So Dark Beam going to be showing up right here for Cestrion.
That's actually pretty convenient because it will allow him to go ahead and just go back out and through the front door into command center without dropping this blast, the blast shield.
Yeah, or it could lead you to just stick in labs, right? You're still looking for this Light Beam somewhere in Light Aegon, and this just opened up a bunch of possibilities right here.
Indeed.
Interesting.
And it looks like Lucarius is acting on this intel and going back for Dark Beam now, which I definitely think this is a decent play, because getting Dark Beam now just means you'll be able to, when you do come to Dark Aegon, to South Dark Aegon later, you'll be able to clear out in Cache 4 and stuff like that. So you don't have to leave any of the Dark Beam checks behind. So it's not a bad idea to get this now. Furthermore, if you're lucky, both of your suits will show up.
Hesitation there on Cestrion's side. Labs is slow, and a lot of runners, including myself, don't really like coming here unless we have to.
You know what we could...
Oh, go ahead.
You know what we could have? Get this. Light Beam could be in Warrior's Walk. Oh, wait, no,
it's gotta
Light
be
Beam...
Light
No,
Aegon.
it's Light Aegon, never mind. Light Beam can be in Storage C.
That would be atrocious. No, that's not true, actually. The second suit is Light Beam locked because of Pod W.
Ah, yes. Alright, so Central Mining Station I don't think was anything important.
Yeah, it was a Light Ammo, it looked like to me.
And it looks like Cestrion is going to go and check Mine Shaft. This is actually a pretty probable spot for Light Beam.
Yep, I like this play. Gosh. Everything in my body would have rebelled against it, but I might have been tempted to just stay in labs after finding that Dark Beam. Oh, this was not it. This would have been a way to get pretty far ahead, though. If this was Light Beam, skipping labs here could have put you pretty far ahead.
Yeah, it's probably Transport Center. That being said, bioenergy production, storage, and storage D are both in logic right now.
Yep. I mean, we've got all the way even to storage D as well. See, we've got 3 checks here accessible to us in labs. But yeah, it's quite the commitment at this point. And you kind of hate to double dip. Like you're going to be double dipping this if you check it now, because you're going to want to come back from those supers almost assuredly, unless the suit, the Dark Aegon suit is horrible.
Alright, so Cestrion's going to get the news that he already knows. And Lucarius is going to commit to labs.
Ooh, some route divergence. It's interesting.
Cestrion making good use of AoE Dark Beam.
Yeah, I don't know. This Cestrion, I feel like, needs to get bailed out by Light Beam and Transport Center. I feel if Light Beam's here in labs, this seems like it's going to be a problem. Unless he's just going to skip supers.
It's possible. I know Cestrion is very fluent in super skips.
Yep. Supers aren't really hard required for anything if you have other items and the ability to use out of bounds to your advantage. But a lot of those skips are pretty slow. So it definitely can be worth picking them up if you know where they are and you have them accessible.
Yeah, especially notable super skips would be Storage C, Cash B Chasm for Dark Lord Torvis, so that's a red key.
Oh god, imagine Lab just being all the red keys.
It can happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's 2 checks we're going to have to leave behind here. We can't do main... Oh, never mind.
Okay.
We can't do main reactor because we don't have boost and spider. What was that? Hold on.
Yeah, and get a good look at Crossroads there. Yeah, Lucarius could do an out of logic, BSJ to get sand processing, which logically requires boost. Could do an out of logic roll jump in main reactor to grab that item, but that trick is no fun. There's also a weird dash into an instant morph you can do, but preferably we either have that boost spider or screw attack to get that item much more easily.
Unfortunately, I still didn't get the best look at what it was in Crossroads. I want to say maybe B-Memo Tank, but I'm not 100% sure. Here we go.
Yeah, worm key under the doormat. Sort of. Well, under the welcome mat, I guess. And yeah, we're definitely looking to find a suit in this loop. It's entirely possible that the suit is just in, like, in Cache 1, which would be a super troll, that you were logically expected to go there, then go to Pod W, then come all the way back to Feeding Pit.
Luckily a suit can't be behind Light Beam because of Pod W.
Right. Yeah, we just...
Now, that being said, if we get Annihilator and Screw Attack, there's nothing stopping any of those suits from being in Cache 2.
True. And Doomed Entry, a possibility as well. Battleground is not, though, because that's either Light Beam or Super Locked.
Luckily.
Alright, yeah, Lucarius is going to make this out of logic. Sand processing play here. Ooh.
Yeah,
doesn't quite get the stick in the corner there.
Alright, that looks like a missile tank in Trial Tunnel. Cestrion electing to not take a load for that.
This is Wedge in the corner, needs to get a somewhat precise unmorph onto this little tiny ledge you can see there. That's it, nicely done. And we will skip ourselves a Jump Guardian fight by shooting the unloaded, or invisible but loaded hitbox. What do we get for our troubles here? Oh, another red key. So a worm key is boost locked. It's interesting to keep note of if we do eventually figure out that our suit is on a Morbus. Fortunately, we don't have any super good items here for this Dark Samus 1 fight. Dark Beam's not horrible, but we prefer Power Bombs or Screw Attack or Annihilator or any of the variety of items that make this fight pretty free.
Yeah, unfortunately, Dark Samus doesn't take any special damage to Dark Beam, and anytime you want to come out of there, there we go.
Yeah. It's not in the early Aegon loop.
This is really interesting. If it's not in Transport Center, then the locations it can be in aren't that great.
Yeah.
Besides Storage D.
Yeah. Where else could it even really feasibly be at that point, though?
If we get Seeker Missiles, it would require a few more items, but it could be Mining Station B, but that would be a stretch.
Mm-hmm. Alright, pretty good Dark Samus 1 fight there. Alright, is it one of these two? Probably, but which one? Who's gonna get rewarded here? Or has the seed got other intentions for... Oh no! Well, that's one step towards that scenario you pointed out, Captain.
Yeah? Yeah, but there's
Oh.
light beam and transport center. Okay, all beams within fairly good reason. Cestrion is probably going to take that light beam back into labs through sand. Is that Sunburst? All right, Dark Oasis is dead. Good. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that was Sunburst in main reactor, which would be nice with light beam. It does have its uses.
Wait, no, suit in Cache 1 is totally possible. It's just that it can't be super locked.
Well, no, the Incash 1 needs light beam to get out of.
Yeah, but we have light beam. Light beam was freely available.
Oh, right, yeah.
Alright, Cestrion going for this cannonball, so that would set him up pretty nicely to go grab that first suit right away. Yeah, I really like that, Gollop. We have cannonball, now we can get the Pod W suit, which means we should be able to find the second suit right... Well, Cestrion's not doing this, but we could have gone back to Pod W, get the suit, then come back into Dark Labs, presumably find the other suit here, and then immediately pick up those super missiles without having to double dip Dark Labs. But looks like both runners are going to end up needing... Oh, no.
Okay, game, we get the message.
Why is it going to be on a Morvis after all this?
And that's an unavoidable light suit, we should stress. Well, not necessarily unavoidable, but there's a good chance we need light suit for something else if it's already needed for super missiles, because the game places the Sky Temple keys after placing the items necessary to get to Sky Temple Gateway, and unfortunately, super missiles is one of those items. So by that point, the game expects you to have light suit. It's probably going to throw in like 3 more light suit checks. I'm calling it now, it's going to be exactly 3.
Yeah, actually, as Gala points out in chat, the cannonball's a bit awkward for Cestrion here. Without Screw Attack, we can't get to Vent Area A without taking a cannon. Well, Screw Attack or Spider. So we're going to be isolating that check, presumably, to keep this cannonball.
Indeed, and it looks like Lucarius is going to... I assume this is a play to scan dash into Incash 2. This is a very interesting play.
Let's see, do we... I don't think we if we had Screw Attack, we could lockpick the Incash 1 item here. I don't know if there's a way to do that without Screw Attack, though. If there is, I'm not aware of it.
Oh? Do tell.
So there's a secret world in Feeding Pit with Screw Attack, and then you can just Sealing Warp into... Well, you activate the door with Dark Beam from the outside, then Sealing Warp in, and then because the door is active, it'll just open for you, even without Light Beam.
Makes sense.
But I don't know if we can get out of bounds here without Screw Attack, so I don't think that works.
It will be interesting to find out what is in here, because if it's a suit, yikes. Because it could still be a suit just right here, and it could not be on a Morbus. Although I think if you're chat, you'd rather it be on a Morbus.
I'm a little surprised by this play, honestly, on Lucarius' side. The thing you're looking here is for a vanilla.
Well, we do unfortunately need that eventually, and Lucarius is just going to death warp back to the save station.
Yeah, the only good thing you ever find there without Light Beam is Light Beam, but we have a hint that says it's not there. So I'm not... And we know we're going to be back to Feeding Pit, so I don't know what information he was looking to get out of that play that would have benefited us in the immediate... to make it worth going through all those rooms. Cestrion will have no problem with sand processing here with the help of Cannonball.
Yeah, generally it's not. It's generally preferable to avoid picking up Cannonball until you have Screw Attack, because by that point you can dodge pretty much every cannon. But at the same time, after picking up Transport Center, you should be pretty much good to not necessarily need the cannon in Aegon ever again for a while.
Yeah, Sand Canyon is the one kind of problem child of the early Cannonball pre-Screw Attack.
That being said, I don't think we have to go too crazy about a Morbus just yet, because we also need Boost Ball for one of those Aegon keys, and we haven't seen it yet. Now, that being said, it's probably in the Temple Grounds loop if I had to hazard a guess somewhere.
Yeah, we've had quite a few checks that have been open in Temple Grounds for a while now. But with Aegon just continually kind of dumping progression that opens more Aegon checks, neither runner has really felt the need to go back there yet. Where are we off to on Lucarius' side? No, Lucarius has not done the Jump Guardian loop yet, so that's probably the next step on the route here. Neo, having said that Screw Attack is going to show up immediately after finding that grapple beam, it certainly has not, which is a little interesting.
Hey, I'm okay with that. I don't appreciate. Not that I don't appreciate. I do appreciate being wrong every once in a while. I don't want this to be a running thing for this year.
And we're joined by a party of raiders from SpeedGaming. Welcome in. We're still in the relatively early stages of this race here. Top 8 bracket matchup between Cestrion and LucariusLion.
Yes, and we already have some spice today, as we have discovered our super missiles are locked by Light Suit.
And logically, one of the suits is locked by the first suit in Plane of Dark Warship. The other suit we're looking for is somewhere in Dark Aegon, but we have not quite narrowed down where that is yet.
Well, actually,
although saying that, yeah, it's just on Amorbus, isn't it?
There's only 2 places it could be, which is in Cache 2 or Amorbus. Yeah.
Oh, did Lucarius not do the scan dash?
Lucarius did not do the scan dash. He ended up proceeding straight through.
Oh, right. Yeah, we have light beam.
Yeah, we can...
I got confused by the light beam.
That's true. We do have the battleground checks, although trying to route in the battleground checks now would be a little tough for Lucarius.
Mm-hmm. It is okay, given... So Lucarius will have the light beam, can pick up the Pod W suit with the Temple Grounds cleanup, and then both runners will have to come back to Feeding Pit anyways, so I don't think it's a huge problem. It would be nice knowledge to know where to have this suit now. Is it here? No?
That is the other grapple.
Alright.
Well, in Cache 2 is in logic now.
Cestrion using Annihilator on 2 of the different bubbles. Sometimes this kind of confuses the Ing, and they just kind of stand around not actually...
Yeah, the 2 on either side is just big enough that it shouldn't confuse the Ing at all. It is actually a little faster here to give the Ing a lemon shot to speed them up a little sometimes. But nevertheless, usually the Ing don't take too long. Lol, Cestrion. But yeah, that's really convenient for Cestrion, because now he will be able to go and check in Cache 2, and if we're lucky, this is the suit. If we're not, yeah. Alternatively, this could just be Dark Visor. Actually, no, we know that Battleground Cache is an ETM.
Does anyone remember what the Battleground Ing cache hint was?
It was an ETM.
ETM, okay. So it's not there. Cestrion will get the first Sky Temple key of the seed here, with Light Beam can just dip in and out of Ing Cache 1. Although we do still have the free one for us in Great Temple that we can go back for as soon as we save Orb.
Yeah, with Light Beam, or without Light Beam, Lucarius is not going to be able to cheese Jump Guarding quickly, and Cestrion didn't have this luxury either.
Yeah, it's kind of a slightly rude location for the Light Beam. Sometimes I'm inclined to check Transport Center before doing this loot, but missing light, it's usually if I'm missing like missiles or Dark Beam or Spider.
Usually I'll check Transport Center if I can route in Crossroads with it.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's a good reason to do that too.
Just to resume the loop after finishing.
And Cestrion could pick that up on the way out, so if that was something important, we could see that again.
I think we're going to see Cestrion check. Oh, Cestrion is not going to
No
in-cache 2.
That's surprising, given how thorough he's been about everything else. Sometimes that check sneaks up on you, though, and you don't really think about that being a play you can make in your first pass through labs. Now, once again, probably not the end of the world. Take E-Tanks. Because we do have to come back this way anyways.
Okay, so that was an energy tank, not Sunburst. That's okay. Energy tanks are still welcome, especially considering... I mean, we're going to be getting Light Suit eventually, but even still, having tanks before suits is still really nice.
Cestrion looking to be heading for a save warp here.
So yeah, the suit is either in cache 2 or it's on a Morbus.
We do have all 3 worm keys. So yeah, so we can go get the Pot W suit. We know that when we return to Aegon, we will have access to the other suit. But in the meantime, we can just kind of clean up a bunch of Temple Ground stuff. Free attack means we can freely get into and out of GFMC. You get the Out of Logic, other Great Temple check, and Transport A access. Normally we would logically need either Secret Dark Visor to leave at the front or Emerald to go back into Great Temple.
Yeah, so thankfully because of that, Phazon Grounds is still currently locked out, though it is doable with Screw Attack.
Yep.
And we are seeing Cestrion head to Hall of Honor Dead here, it looks like. And this is in play with this equipment, thanks to Cannonball.
Yeah, I like this. All right, we get a free hint here as well in communication or in Meeting Grounds. Lucarius heading back to labs. What's this for?
This might be for in-cache 1. Not 1, excuse me, 2. It's certainly, in-cache 1 might be on his mind as well.
Oh, Battleground maybe? Still though, I feel like you just want to grab the other suit first.
Thanks for the Aegon key hint, game.
Oh no, Lucarius didn't pick up the Cannonball though. I don't know if Lucarius maybe not comfortable with that BSJ. It is a really, in my opinion, that is a really stupid BSJ in Manization A. The camera is extremely uncooperative.
Indeed.
And you can't see what you're trying to jump onto.
Alright, so this is a power bomb.
With a required main powerbomb launcher. Not too much interest in grabbing that.
There was also a free burger already in Storage B, so I think
true.
runners are okay at this point when it comes to power bombs. But as expected, Cestrion is going to take this through landing site and just do the entirety of the Temple Grounds loop. And with Cannonball, can pick up the Plane of Dark Worship suit with no difficulty whatsoever. Alright.
Cloud Shrine is dead.
Mm-hmm.
We already have all of our beam-related upgrade knowledge. Alright, finding this screw attack. You gotta watch your health here, but thanks to Echo's drop system, we are quite likely to get a gold drop, as we see.
Alright, we've got Dark Missile Trooper. Best weapon here would be Dark Beam's Missile.
Yep.
Alternatively, you can use single light shot plus Sunburst. Oh, hi, Boost Ball.
Okay, so Amorvis is in Logic then.
Mm-hmm.
You sound so thrilled.
just proving the point, game. We get it. But yeah, Lucarius has Screw Attack, and now that might send him in the direction of in-cache 2. It's certainly he's thinking about grabbing in-cache 1 now.
In cache 1, I would still put off until you come back for Feeding Pit. Emerald Translator.
That's actually a really good point, because we know that's a sky, because Lucarius does know that's a Sky Temple key. That could be saved for another time.
Yeah, I don't mind Inkesh 2 into a safe warp here, though, so we'll see if he does that. We've already done most everything else in lab, so at this point I think Lucarius should be looking to get back in Temple Grounds as well, following Cestrion's footsteps here.
Yeah, Aegon has basically been full cleared at this point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a few of those super missile lock checks remaining, as well as a mining station B area. Although neither runner's checked vent area A, actually, now that I think about it.
That's true, although we don't really have any cues to go there yet. I would say probably not going to see any until we see Spider Ball, just to give runners an excuse to go route that in with Spider's treasure area.
Yeah, no Inkesh 2 check either. Okay. But yeah, as you say, there's not... We have sort of the... We see a path into, like, Torvus routing now. We got Emerald, we know, at the end of this whole giant chain that we're going to get super missiles. So, yeah, to me, I start thinking about wanting to go to Torvus after we kind of finish out this whole logical progression nonsense. But yeah, the power of Cannonball allowing Cestrion to grab this suit out of logic. For those unaware, Cannonball is an item the game gives you when you enter a cannon, and normally takes it away when you leave the cannon, or when you bonk in something at the end. And it gives you the properties of Boost Ball, except it's a different damage type, and makes you invincible, which is pretty handy.
Something we actually may see Cestrion do after this loop is do Super and Secretless Sky Temple key hints, because it is absolutely possible now with Dark Suit to do so safely.
Good point. I mean, we are not that... Well, missing Power Bombs and Dark Visor makes me think we're... Oh my gosh, there's Spider. Okay. Well, I was also going to say Spider, but...
Well,
so now we theoretically could be in go mode, if the keys are really friendly.
Okay.
Which they probably aren't. But it could be worth checking.
Dead. Alright, Reliquary is dead. Yeah, most secret locks are skippable. Some of the ones that you are going to have to get regardless, though, are like War Ritual Grounds. So, while War Ritual Grounds is a great key to know about for the endgame, and great to route in, it's not good when you don't have secret missiles.
Oh, it seems like it's got to be an Orbis play from Lucarius. That's interesting.
You know, I'm okay with this, because it's very likely that this is a suit, Cestrion duping the Torvus key. And there is Sonic Boom on the ship.
Oh, nice. That was actually a timely Emerald find. We get the extra hint here. Actually, this check is sort of in logic, but unfortunately we can't access it yet. This might be a good situation if you know the peak of this item. This would be a good time to peek it. Not that we're going to... Oh, there it is!
Guarding a progressive suit.
It's a great hint for Cestrion, actually. Narrows down where you got to go, since he did still have Inkesh 2 as a possibility. Now we know going to Amorphous first is not a mistake.
Yeah, so this actually is going to end up benefiting Lucarius a little bit here. Because he's going to get Dark Suit, probably route that straight into Plane of Dark Worship, probably backtrack for super missiles.
Yeah, I think Cestrion will still be the first to the supers, though. Having done all these Temple Grounds checks already. And could already... Actually, yeah, really... Probably just beeline Amorbus at this point.
The flip side is that after picking up Light Suit, Fortress Transport Access will be in place, so Lucarius will actually be able to get that on his first pass to GFFC.
Okay, yeah, that could be a potential advantage if that's a useful item there.
Luckily, with Light Beam, this fight is pretty much a joke.
Yeah, don't have quite enough ammo to do it with Light Beam if we miss Worm Skip, but if we get the Worm Skip, we have enough. And we do have our Cannonball to aid in the Worm Skip attempt.
Yeah, Lucarius did go pick it up, so yeah, Cannonball will make life much easier here. How does worm skip work? That's a great question from chat. So basically, in phase 2, if you manage to take out both worm heads in the sphere attachment phase before the first worm burrows back underground, what effectively happens is it skips the cutscene for transitioning to phase 3. And if you do that, basically phase 2 resets again. But if you take out the worms, you see Lucarius pulled it off perfectly there. But after you kill the worms' heads in phase 2, basically the fight ends without having to see the third worm phase. The downside is you can't do this again in phase 3, because if you do, the game will soft lock because no cutscene plays. Because the third one, the cutscene that's supposed to play, is the Amorbus death cutscene.
Don't want to skip that one. Oh, Cestrion never got that hint. Oh. Okay. I can't put myself retroactively in Cestrion's shoes there, but that might explain why some of the routing decisions he made are different than what I would have done, because he didn't have that info. I just assumed he had scanned that hint. Okay.
And just like that, Lucarius gets rewarded. And it doesn't look like he's returning the Aegon energy, so Mining Plaza couldn't have been anything that particularly important.
Oh, that's interesting. That hit was actually really strong for Cestrion then, because Cestrion did not know that Amorbus had that suit, or even was like close to needing to have had that suit. That hint in FTA was actually the first time Cestrion saw anything about that suit.
So yeah, it doesn't help that a dark suit got hinted twice. Just for the sake of more items per hint would be really nice. Although that being said, the game did kind of make up for that by hinting bombs 2 rooms from Space Jump.
True, yeah, that was a nice twofer there.
But yeah, Lucarius now already has Dark Suit in tow this time, will have much less trouble getting Light Suit, doesn't have to resort to Cannonball, and more importantly, will be able to just route in Fortress Transport Access, and we'll see if this is progression. I would not be surprised if FTA has Seeker Missiles.
So I'll be curious to see what Cestrion does after grabbing these supers. We have a couple checks in Aegon that are super locked, but getting them both is a little slow. We do have relatively easy access to hints with only needing to do the Seeker skip now. We'll see if Cestrion actually cleans up the new checks that this unlocked or just bails on Aegon. I could see maybe heading through Warrior's Walk to the save warp.
After
just
picking
isolate
Super,
Storage C.
Yeah, it could be done. The only downside is getting supers now is really inconvenient because you can't go through Warrior's Walk right now.
Right. So I'm going to go for this worm skip as well.
Okay.
Gets it.
Yeah, something you can actually do is you don't have to necessarily be in the worm mouth in order to drop the bomb. You can actually drop it slightly in front of, and the bombs will snap to you immediately. In most cases, not in all cases.
Alright. That is our first light suit for Lucarius.
And you just saw Cestrion there do the bomb snap trick that I just mentioned.
Alright, nice vanilla logical dark suit.
Not to mention an almost vanilla key too in Doomed Entry.
Alright, yep. Alright, finally, like half an hour after getting the hint about the super missiles, we can actually go pick them up.
Yeah, we do now have a large amount of gear already in tow. The main things that are going to stop us now are main power bombs, visors, and Seekers not so much because Screw Attack does let you skip a lot of Seeker-related checks, but there's still a few things that can screw things up. I'm still calling it now that 3 keys are light suit locked.
It is good that Lucarius is not skipping these. There could certainly have been a temptation to just go beeline those supers now that we have Light Suit, but we would be missing out on Boost and Emerald by skipping these Hive Chambers, so heads up play there for Lucarius.
Now
He's trying to give up this Cannonball.
Yeah, at this point he doesn't need it anymore. It's done its job. It's done a good job, but it's done its job.
Cestrion not going to give up this Cannonball.
Never mind.
Probably would be fine to give it up. If you're planning to do STK hints and save scum them, you're going to lose your Cannonball anyways. But with supers, it's not that unreasonable to just go check STK hints and then come out and route into the front of Torvus.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see Cestrion detour quickly to Sand Canyon while going towards Labs.
Those are a good couple checks to do, yeah, on the way. Get one more look at Mining Plaza, or did he not check it the first time? Maybe it was just Lucarius that looked.
I think it was an energy tank. Yeah, that's not getting picked up. And yeah, Lucarius is now turning right around and going back for super missiles.
So did Lucarius skip the whole GFMC area then?
Lucarius did not go to the GFMC loop yet.
Okay. So that ends up being a pretty good play. We're going to be short one Torvus key, but otherwise that went a long way to actually evening up this race.
Not necessarily, because Lucarius is also passing up Spider Ball and Calm area.
Spider, yes. That could be a problem.
And Spider Ball is a pretty big deal right now, because with this equipment, Sanctuary is very open. Correction. No, it is not. We need either Power Bombs or Dark Visor Seeker Missiles.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sank entrance is doable without main Power Bombs, but it's not in logic yet.
I actually think that's a really rude Spider Ball location in Lucarius' position, because like at this point, Comary has been open for a gazillion years, and with the way that the forward fill weighting algorithm is, things that have been open for more spheres are way less likely to be the next place where something's put. So I am not expecting any of the Temple Grounds checks I've skipped to be progression at this point, and that has burned me before. We'll see. Yeah. Maybe FTA is interesting enough to Lucarius that he'll make that route through JFMC and find the Spider Ball. We'll find out.
It's possible Lucarius can route it in going to the Torvus Quadrant as well, because with Super Missiles in tow now, you can just cross through Wind Chamber. Well, no, you can't, because we need main Power Bombs for Wind Chamber itself, so never mind.
Oh, true. Yeah.
I'm not used to seeing main Power Bombs this late, to be honest.
This tournament's really the first time I've played a bunch of Seeds without main Power Bombs, and it has definitely been a challenge for me to route sometimes, because I just forget what is and isn't possible. And yeah, losing access to a bunch of nice Seekers in Warrior's Walk. That's a good find for Cestrion. So now SDK hints are very free to access.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see Lucarius head for those as well. It's definitely important to not forget your supers checks after just grabbing them. Alright, so now we can go get Sky Temple Key hints without any special shenanigans. So is the seed solved already, or do we still need to get everything else? Alright, Cestrion is not busting out of Aegon yet. This might be the Incash 2 play. Not quite sure what happened there.
So if you want to be thorough, yeah, you can do Incash 2 here, and then route it into Storage C, and then perhaps take a save warp. Or even could take the Spider Wall track up and do Fentari A and Sand Canyon as well.
Yeah, Lucarius...
Mining Station B is actually now in Logic 2 behind those Seekers.
Very true. Lucarius is like, really? More stuff behind the super missiles?
Yep.
There has been no shortage of comedy this seed.
Yeah, definitely an interesting one. The That's super hint as the MVP, though. This logic would have been pretty difficult to piece together without knowing that you need to find both, prioritize the suits, and then immediately head to feeding pit.
It feels like almost that this seed was literally thinking about Cestrion when it was generated. Yeah, that being said, I would... Okay, Lucarius is busting out here. And okay, it was not... there's no more progression in Dark Aegon. The game's like, okay, you've seen enough. You're done here. Move along. But yeah, it looks like Lucarius is going straight for Sky Temple key hints. Oh no, he's going to make a detour to Transport A access. Because, yeah, this only just got put into play with Emerald Translator. So it's a little late here. And it's main power bombs.
Wow.
Okay, so Lucarius isn't getting that right now because what he's going to do is save scum the hints. He's going to get the key hints, reset, probably go grab those power bombs. Because, yeah, it's clear he doesn't intend to keep those right now, otherwise he would have picked them up. Alright, so the seed's like, okay, you've had enough. That's enough. Here's all the rest of your stuff. This has actually been pretty common lately with Randomania. It's like, it gives you this complex chain for your first major set of progression, and then after that, it kind of just spells itself out, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but... Lucarius reading the hint. We'll see if he chooses to read the hint in Path of Eyes or goes to straight for Sky Temple key. Looks like he's going to read the hint in Path of Eyes.
Alright, yeah, the world is our oyster now. Torvis is nice. I mean, SDK hints first, for sure. Torvis is nice because we have the Emerald Translator for those hints. But we have access to a ton of checks in Sank as well.
Alright, and Umos 2 is dead. This has been a low missile ammo seed. Not doing too great on energy tanks either, but with light suit, energy tanks are not nearly as critical. What is that in Forward True Grounds? I have no idea. It's not a Sky Temple key, though.
Yeah, that's the big thing we wanted to avoid. Didn't have the blue glow of something like a gravity suit either. Don't think it was visor, so... From some missiles for the secret door. Alright, what's the damage?
Yeah, we do indeed have many keys still unaccounted for here, so let's see. Poison Bog.
Alright, Dark Visor.
Hive Dynamo Works. Putrid Alcove. That's not too bad.
I really want to see Sank map, just so that the runners have to do the trick.
My Windchamber Gateway is free. Sank map.
Hell yeah!
Dynamo Works itself.
Wow, so we got the whole Cobalt package here.
And finally, Underground Tunnel.
Alright.
So, okay, 2 of those are light suit checks. Fair enough.
Yeah, and 3 of them Cobalt locked, logically. Runners should be pretty comfortable skipping Cobalt, though.
For Sank map, though?
I have seen both of them practicing that trick. I don't think
no.
either necessarily wants to do it. So if, like, we'll certainly happily accept Cobalt if we figure out where it is. But I would guess if we find Dark Visor, they're going to go mode this seed.
Yeah, that is pretty much all we need at this stage. And as predicted, Lucarius is resetting back to Dark Aegon and is probably going to just go right ahead and save warp, grab those power bombs, and then probably proceed to Torvis. Because there's a couple of keys in both directions.
Yeah, the lack of spider's a problem. Wind Chamber Gateway maybe leads you to do a Temple Grounds cleanup. I'm not sure, though. It might not be close enough to Communication Area that it makes you route that in.
Yeah, the lack of spider is a very big deal. Hopefully it gets hinted by the Emerald hints if Torvis is Lucarius' next stop.
Mm-hmm.
Alternatively, what he could do is just go out the Violet Gate and continue the loop and end it into Torvis with main power bombs.
Yep.
Except I don't think he opened up the Super's door in front of, or the Crystal Switch in front of Path of Eyes, so actually that's not going to work.
Yeah, well, and Lucarius had reset anyway, so...
Wind Chamber looked to be, I think that was a missile.
We also kind of do want a little more than 20 missiles by the end of the game. We're liable to kind of run out and not have many for attempting a DS4 skip.
And yeah, there's Lucarius' main PBs. Cestrion's going to go ahead and check Fortress Transport access.
You logically have Sank Entrance. I would be very surprised if he makes that play, though. There's so much else to do. It's way faster.
I'm pretty sure the only reason you would do Sank Entrance now is if this is Dark Visor, which it is not. Because then you could, oh, well, Cestrion calling me a liar and going straight for it.
I'm very surprised by this.
I'm
Does
not
Cestrion feel behind?
Maybe not, but at the same time, if Sank Entrance has been in play for a bit since those main power bombs, so there's still a chance this could be something.
Well, if this doesn't pan out, and Lucarius is heading straight for comm area, this starts to look very close again.
Indeed. I don't think Lucarius is too happy about leaving that Spider Ball behind, though, because I'm fairly certain he would have liked to dip Spider's treasure.
Hmm. I'm gonna feel like such a Muppet when this is just Dark Visor here in Sank Entrance. Cestrion would have cleaned my clock on this seat if so.
Phase on Grounds, yes, Phase on Grounds is in logic. Echo Visor would put Profane Path into play, but no sign of Echo Visor yet.
About to get the Thanks game hint here for a Morbus suit. But potentially after these Wind Chamber checks. Alright, does this pay off? That does not look like a visor to me.
Nah, that's an energy tank.
Alright, well just like that, I mean, assuming Lucarius doesn't make this play too. Thanks game. We're going to be very, very close to even here. Lucarius will be behind the Wind Chamber Gateway STK. That's real close to us right now.
Pardon me. In a scenario like this, I would probably turn around. And yeah, Lucarius has got the exact idea. Lucarius is going to go ahead and ignore Wind Chamber for now and get it from the Torvis side. Because that door isn't open yet, so this wouldn't be a convenient route.
That's smart. Yep. Saves a couple rooms of backtracking. Lucarius, on the other hand, can go this way, having come in originally and already moved the light gate, so we'll be the first into Torvis, but is leaving this phase on ground check behind. Okay, so wants a closer look at this. Is this it?
Is that Echo Visor?
Oh, it's
No,
Cobalt.
it's Cobalt.
Okay.
Very welcome.
Yep, that's very nice for Sank Map. A little bit nice for Spider Guardian as well, if it's on the boss and not in the tube. If the two SDKs are just in the tube and on Hive Dynamorgs, I suspect we would see a Spider Guardian skip. You can pickpocket the tube and then use some out-of-bounds trickery to get to Hive Dynamorgs without fighting the boss.
Yeah, that's another trick that's on my to-do list. Is Hive Dynamo Works, because I can do the tunnel no problem with Screw Attack, but Hive Dynamo Works I haven't learned to skip yet.
Yeah, Dark Visor, hard required. Both runners looking for that. And Cestrion, I'm sure, would love to have Cobalt, but I suspect would go mode the Seed if he finds Dark Visor for his thanks game for the Poison Bog has a key.
Yeah, and looked like Lagoon was just a missile.
Alright, first Emerald hint. Are we going to get pointed in the direction of this Dark Visor? Not yet. Our
Alright,
other Torvis keys are probably here, though, in Torvis.
Not that it matters. Oh, never mind. That's
Wrong
Echo
visor.
Visor. I thought that was Dark Visor, and I was like, yeah, never mind. The seed's over anyway.
So that's some more possibilities for where Dark Visor could be.
Dark Visor could totally be an Airy now.
That is beginner, isn't it? To use Dark Echo instead of Dark Visor for the fight.
Mm-hmm. Just any visor upgrade is expected.
Nice.
That slope jump is new to me. To get the Screw Attack, I usually just look towards the bridge. Oh, never mind.
Okay.
Okay, game. Thanks. Just put both the visors right next to each other.
This is interesting then. So, is Cestrion just go-moding this? And if so, does the Cobalt make up enough time for Lucarius to put him ahead now?
That is a very good question.
I think it probably does. Lucarius is really not that far behind. And the Sank map wall crawl is a little bit slow. This is one of the downsides of the out of bounds is an extremely powerful trick, but out of bounds movement is slow. Like a lot of these skips can be powerful situationally, but just getting the items tends to be the fastest way to get the checks locked by the items. And yeah, that Dark Visor is not in a terribly difficult spot to find for Lucarius.
Yeah, and this is just like what I was saying earlier. Once the game handles the obnoxious chain, the seed basically writes itself out and just gives you the rest of the stuff. Lucarius is playing very cautiously here because those Dark Pirates do still hit like a truck.
Yep, unlike most of the Metroid games, the suits do not actually provide any damage reduction from enemies in this game, only helping with the environmental hazards.
Alright, and this hint reveals that a major upgrade is in Phazon grounds. That, it's funny. I had that hint in practice yesterday, and that turned out to be Dark Burst.
Whoops.
when I needed it to be Light Suit.
Okay. So do you check that? There's not a ton of things that can be, that could be grab, I guess, in Cestrion's mind, which we're not really that interested in.
The only two major upgrades, the two majors that actually matter are Gravity Boost and Cobalt, but it could be, we've seen Sonic Boom already, so it could be Dark Burst and Sunburst. Mm-hmm. So in his mind, it's a 50-50. Alright, we know that there is a key in Underground Tunnel.
Yep, need to pick up our Poison Bog key here, too.
Yeah, I think Cestrion would like a little more clarity, but it's not. Unfortunately, he's not going to get it because each item can only be hinted once.
Yeah, but if we get a grav boost hint, then that narrows it down for Cestrion.
And that Morph Ball system hint really didn't help us out. That was like, what? Morph Ball system can be found in Great Temple, was it? Because that would easily be pointing to main power bombs.
Exactly, yep.
So yeah, Lucarius is going to get Echo, think, oh no, Dark Visor could be anywhere, and then be happy to realize, oh no, it's never mind, it's right here. Although it looks like he's peeking Portal Chamber first.
So yeah, Cestrion not hard go moding this seed. Did like make the slight out of the way for Med Vista. I think he is still a bit interested in finding this Cobalt, which cannot blame him for. And meanwhile, Lucarius is shortly going to be entering Go mode.
Yeah, looks like he just wanted to check Abandoned Worksite first. Now he's going to get Great Bridge.
And then it's off to the races. And yeah, it is. As predicted, I think this is going to end up being a pretty close one here.
So yeah, now Lucarius is just thinking, wait a minute, how do I go about this? Because it looks like what he's thinking about doing is he's going to... let's see. He got the Wind Chamber Gate key, right? Yeah. So he's going to get Poison Bog and Putrid Alcove. Possibly...
I'm surprised you do the pirate fight here, actually.
Well, Lucarius might be thinking of coming out of Dark Torvus and then going to Lower Torvus to get to Sank that way, because that would put you close to Sank map. And then you could route that around to Dynamo Works pretty efficiently.
Yeah, I would probably have been thinking about just wall crawling to Lower Torvus, given that we need to be in Poison Bog, Putrid Alcove.
Yeah,
in which case you could just skip this fight if we're not using the Dark World, or if we're not using the Light World. But the Light World is a little bit faster if you're not actually interested in doing anything in Lower Torvus, just because you don't need to go find a portal and then head to the elevator. You just go straight there.
Unless Lucarius is thinking about going out of bounds in Portal Chamber after Poison Bog.
Yep, that's an option too. Actually, maybe a better option than the Lower Torvus wall crawl.
Interestingly, Lucarius is heading towards the Lower Torvus now instead of going to the portal.
Underground tunnel.
Oh, right.
Good. Yeah.
So yeah, just has to make a quick detour for this.
It's going to take the Great Bridge route to Forgotten Bridge. Or maybe this is going to use the portal in Portal Chamber?
I don't think there's a way to go around into the Portal Chamber door from Light World. You have to go, it's only good for Dark World out to Light.
You can do a screw attack into Tunnel Secret World, and then you can jump through the same hole in Collision that you used to get out of bounds.
Ah, okay.
But looks like he's just routing this way. I don't know if this is faster or not than just going through Grove. I probably would have gone through Grove, but I could easily be wrong. I've not timed this stuff.
I think it actually would have been a little faster because you don't have to fight the pirates in Grove, as long as you don't approach Meditation Vista.
But at any rate, quick SDKs here, and we'll see how Lucarius intends to head to Sank, which is where the remainder of our cleanup will be.
Yeah,
is that true?
It's either going to be... Yeah, because it's Hive Dynamo, Sank Map, and Dynamo Works.
Right.
So, yeah, it's all at Sank. So either we're going to see Lucarius bust out at Portal Chamber and then go down to Lower Torvus that way, or we're going to see him do Cashme Chasm.
Now, Cestrion, on the other hand, might just ride into the front of Sank after this Cobalt. We've already done the pirate fight. We have Dark Visor Seekers. And that puts us right next to Sank Map. Cestrion may still actually be in the lead even with this detour. I don't think it actually cost him that much time to go get this. And
That
he'll
is
be...
very true, because Cestrion's already done Sank Entrance, so he's already done the fight and could just blow right through Sank Entrance to get to Sank Map that way. So that's very
Exactly.
true.
Yep.
So I think it's literally determined by who gets to Sanctuary first.
Yeah, and then also execution on getting these Spider Guardian keys.
Alright, so it looks like Lucarius is bailing out from Torvis through the front. And just bailing out at the Forgotten Bridge portal.
Yeah, or it could just be hitting the vault through the light world. Could even be save warping here out of the Boost Guardian save. Oh no, we didn't open a gate. That's a little annoying then.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think Cestrion still has a small lead here, because he's going to be able to go down the elevator and then just zip right through Sanctuary to Sank Map.
Has Cestrion still not picked up the transport B access key?
I think that actually might be the only key he's missing, but that is literally free via save warp.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what's going to happen after Hive Dynamo, because that's going to place you right next to the Hive Dynamo save station, which you can access no problem with Echo Visor.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, we can blow through all these rooms here, having already been here. How's Lucarius around this? He's farming a PB. Yeah. Are we going to see the Spider Guardian fight or not this seed? And yeah, I'm assuming both runners are going to be comfortable with skipping Spider Guardian for the Hive Dynamo Works key. But if not, then maybe we see a Spider Guardian fight one way or the other. Cestrion killing Quentin. I think we were too likely to need to save warp out of here, so it probably would have been safe to skip this. But not a huge time investment with Cannonball. Right, does Cestrion still have Cannonball after all this?
I am not sure, actually. Unfortunately,
Lucarius
Lucarius is out of missiles here, yeah. And no gravity means either you have to underwater dash, open up the fork switch, or do air underwater to get to training chamber to go out that way. There is the other Torvis key, I would assume. Okay, good Seeker missiles.
Nice.
I'm just hoping they implement Storm missiles into Prime 4.
Ooh,
that was
cool.
basically Seekers done right.
Mm-hmm. All right. So let's try a couple minutes ahead here, I think. The entering through Sank Entrance is actually even closer to where he needed to be than coming in through Vault. Plus he saved this whole Lower Torvis trip.
Yeah, I think it would have been pretty close. It would have been a little closer if Lucarius had either done Cashby Chasm or gone out of bounds at Portal Chamber, but either way, this is still a very close race, and the key is in the tunnel.
Alright, that's pretty nice.
And yeah, Cestrion still has his cannonball. It's just going to proceed through here to unload the quads.
Oh, in the future, Cestrion, you can just, you don't actually have to disengage Spider there. If you just kind of pass over the plane in the middle of the room, that's enough.
That area, that actually has two triggers. It despawns the quads, and it also loads the Spider Guardian fight. Otherwise, the door to the hatch to enter the fight is closed. All right, so it looks like Cestrion is going to do the instant morph method and gets it third try.
Pretty dang good. That is not an easy trick. Now we're going to see a wall crawl to skip to get over to the portal here. up over here. Needs to wiggle over to the door and ceiling warp into the room. Or actually, maybe you can get it to load around you. Right, yeah.
Got bopped a little bit by the looks of it.
Yeah, a little bit of a rude reposition. Yeah, I think there's some way that you can like lay the power bomb and that'll start loading the room and you can get it to load around you. I'm not too familiar with this version of the wall crawl, actually.
Right. So yeah, the room is loaded, but he needs to load Dynamo Works here so that way he can perform the ceiling warp. Or would it be okay in this scenario to perform the ceiling warp from inside Dynamo Works? If you have enough height to reach the ceiling. Because I almost feel like, oh, never mind.
The collision there seems a little like it might be stupid. There's a lot of dumb collision in Sank that makes ceiling warping difficult in some places.
Yeah, now, if I'm not mistaken, the portal is actually not active right now. Until you load...
Alright, Cestrion gets in.
There we go. Alright, I'm definitely taking notes on this one because I definitely want to learn that.
Yeah, being able to skip Spider Guardian is very nice. We will need to wall crawl again to get out of here since we can't go through the tunnel. See, I would imagine Cestrion will do it through the Dark World, but perhaps not. In fact, I think that's really the only reasonable way out of here, is to abuse Terminal Fall. So what we'll see here, presumably on Cestrion's side, is we will take the portal again, because when you enter this room, or when you load this room, the default Terminal Fall location is on the other side of the room, where like the grapple point is and all the light barb things.
Ah.
So if you manage to screw attack into that tunnel and hit the Terminal Fall trigger before you touch any of the standable stuff on the STK side of the room, then you will get repositioned to the other side of the room when you hit Terminal Fall. But you do need to completely unload this room to make that happen. Otherwise, because you touched all those platforms while getting the SDK, you're just going to get respawned on this side. It gets out of bounds. Now it just needs to hit Terminal Fall. And voila!
Very nicely done. That is definitely a trick I want to learn before tomorrow.
Yeah, this is a good one to know.
I don't think that worked out as well as... And yeah, we're going to see Cestrion save warp from the Hive Gyro save station, rather.
Yep, makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, hints definitely came into play for Cestrion today, as chat points out. It sent him back to a Morbus, and it sent him back to Cobalt Translator. There's another ETM.
Nice ETM.
Yeah, there should be 3 in this pool.
Yeah, Lucarius investing some time in taking a save here.
Yeah, this might just be being half safe than half short, because Hive Dynamo, that trick looked difficult.
Yeah, you gotta be careful. Falling to the bottom of these, both sides of Dynamo Chamber have, or both like worlds of Dynamo Chamber have a very, very low floor. So if you take a fall out of bounds, you've got a long way to climb.
Oh, indeed. But yeah, Cestrion's going to grab the Transport B access key right here, and then just zip on over to Sky Temple.
Saving key 9 for last. How appropriate.
Indeed. Oh, Lucarius is going back down the elevator here.
So there's another method to get this SDK using out of bounds. If you're in the Dark World already, you can do a door warp secret world in Hive Dynamo Works, and then just directly use the same kind of well, the reverse sort of logic, where you can actually touch the platforms on the Hive Key side barely from out of bounds on the other side of the room, then hit Terminal Fall and get positioned where the key is.
Interesting.
So I think that might be the play Lucarius is going to try to make here. This is the method I use for this, but I think what Cestrion did is faster, given that we needed to be in the light world for the tunnel key anyways.
Yeah, final bosses shouldn't be too bad with 2 energy tanks. Just have to make sure to not take too many smacks.
Yeah, sometimes the Emperor Ing 3 fight can get away from you and you'll take some damage, but that's really the only danger point here, and 2 E-tanks I think is relatively safe for that, even so.
That being said, I do believe Cestrion is still packing his cannonball, so he's going to have plenty of opportunities to get drops and equipment on the way to Emperor Ing 3.
Nice refill point here for Lucarius prior to final bosses. Farm up a bunch of ammo from these night barbs. So yes, we'll see the use of the door warp secret world here. Well, if we keep the room active on Hive Dynamo Works, but slowly edge our way into Hive Gyro access. When we morph, the game can reposition us out of bounds, like so. And now you can see that that platform with the red stuff there is barely sticking through this gate, so we can actually stand on it. That will change the terminal fall point, and we hit terminal fall, and voila! We get right next to the key. And now Lucarius will just need to do the same thing to get out that Cestrion did. Use the portal, and then come back, and abuse terminal fall again.
Cestrion just taking a quick second to enlighten the audience of the Cross Game Cup champion winners.
Yeah,
so that's a little fun fact is that we do have that key bearer set to give the winners of the 2022 CGC tournament.
Yeah, Cestrion shooting to get his name on there twice. Could add to it if he's able to pull out a win in this tournament as well. And he looks likely, at the very least, to advance to the round of 4. I think it's going to be pretty difficult here for Lucarius to claw this one back at this point.
Yeah, it would take a disaster on final bosses, which is unfortunately fairly unlikely.
Lucarius gets the secret world. Just needs to go hit the terminal fall. You do this trick is harder than folks make it look. It's kind of difficult to get a jump out of this tunnel, and if you just wiggle out and fall, the terminal fall doesn't go out this far, so you're not going to hit terminal fall, and you're going to fall to the very bottom of the Aether box. So you really do got to be careful while doing this.
Indeed.
Yeah, Lucarius definitely playing this safe. Choosing to morph and get back inbounds if he's not liking what it's looking like. Can Cestrion get almost gets the one screw attack there. But Emperor Ing is already heavily damaged just from that. And down it goes. No problems on health management here for Cestrion.
Indeed, that was pretty much a flawless Emperor Ing.
Yeah, very nicely done. That was weird. Lucarius jumped up, but it looked like it repositioned him really far back in bounds. Ooh, okay, that should do it. Alright. Lucarius is free, and that is 9 SDKs. Try to farm a little bit more ammo here.
This is honestly the best place to do it.
Yeah, this is great drops here. Second only to the ammo fish in Lower Torvus.
Indeed. And we'll see how this plays for Cestrion. So gets a hit. And it looks like she did flinch appropriately, so is going to use Screw Attack. Got a head hit there. Does damage, but it's not enough.
Does get her to put up the force field now. So Cestrion, gets the DS4 skip there. Very nicely done.
Well done. That is going to be a finish with an official race time GG time of 1:23:28.
Yeah, congrats to Cestrion.
Given that given super missiles were locked behind light suit, that honestly wasn't too bad of a seed.
Yeah, the Dark Visor being relatively easy to stumble upon definitely helped, with Torbus kind of being where you wanted to go first. Hey, we're joined by Cestrion. Welcome in, GG's.
GG.
GG, congratulations.
Well, we got you your classic suit in Pod W.
I'm like, is this a plan though or something? Do you want to tell me anything also?
It was the funniest thing because literally 2 minutes before that hint was read, we were discussing that. How that it's been just a running theme in your tournament run, and yet today is no exception.
I mean, it wasn't too bad because Cannonball was like literally right there. Yeah. The seat was kind of tame actually. Like everything was falling into my lap.
Yeah, the Dark Visor was really the only thing that could troll, and it ended up being hard to miss.
I was like, I'm gonna lose this race because I checked Sank entrance to Dark Visor, and I was like, when I found it.
And like, it actually, I don't even know if it really lost you that much time because you got to speed through back into Sank after grabbing that Cobalt.
Yeah,
hints were very strong this seed. Getting pointed to the suits, to the supers, to the Cobalt definitely helped you out there.
Yeah,
it was a 50-50 with that Cobalt translator.
Yeah. If that was grab, that would have been a feels bad. But
not even
good.
Not even if that was grab. There's a chance major upgrades can point to other super combos too. So it was still literally 50-50.
I'm assuming if that was not Cobalt, were you gonna just do all the Cobalt lock stuff anyways? Was that your plan, or were you gonna look for Cobalt after?
No, I would have attempted the Cobalt gate skip.
Yeah. What I was figuring was Dark Visor was your go mode, but Cobalt was your nice to have mode.
Yeah. Oh. Curse is actually kind of close, so yeah. What was the defining factor here?
Well, I think actually it was the hints because otherwise, Lucarius did get Dark Suit and Cobalt Translator without a hint. Dark Suit, he did know about the Suit and Dark Aegon hint due to scanning Mining Plaza way earlier, but by that point there was still potentially in cache too.
I see, yeah.
Because of where Annihilator was, it's possible that we could have skipped a Morbis, but
I was worried about that.
Yeah, Lucarius did a bit more kind of back and forth routing around Aegon. I think it labs 3 or 4 times. So you were definitely ahead already by the time you got to supers, and pretty much just maintained that lead throughout. You tried to give it back through Sank entrance, but even at that point you were still a little bit ahead.
Okay. Graph boost is in a funny location.
Nice.
Well, it's not too bad, but
yeah, I didn't realize actually at the beginning that you didn't have the Mining Plaza hint. So I was kind of questioning the routing at the beginning of the seed because I just assumed that you had the information.
No, I did not.
I was like, what are you doing? So I apologize for the questions I had because I was assuming you had info you didn't.
No, I did. I forgot about that hint, but I guess it was kind of good that I forgot about that.
Yeah, because that honestly might have been. Yes and no, because you knew where the other suit was and that it was accessible. So I feel like no matter what, you still kind of want to make the Temple Grounds play first and then just go find the suit later. So it's.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I'm gonna grab the Accursed Lake suit first because of not Accursed Lake, a Plane of Dark Warship suit, because I'd probably have to backtrack anyway for the suit. I was pretty sure that the suit was in Dark Aegon. even without the hint. Then I got the Amorbis hint, and I was like, yep, figured.
Well, I gotta giggle a little bit because Chica was guarding Inghive Key 3.
Nice. I missed the grab boost location. Where
It was in
that?
Cat West.
Yeah, Cat West.
Okay.
Like, Senk was completely dead, except the 2 SCKs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Lower Taurus didn't really have anything interesting too. Lucarius did patch,
Yeah.
so Lucarius routed through Lower Taurus to get the Sank, having already picked up phase on grounds before heading into
I
Taurus.
see.
But honestly, I think your route was like probably faster anyways. Given that Lucarius had grab boost to speed up a little bit of Lower Taurus, and it's just a lot of rooms to go through.
I was actually kind of worried that because once I got Light Suit and Supers, the Seeker's like right there more so. I was like, well, that's SDK hints. But I was like isolating like Vent A. I didn't have PBs at the time, but I was worried about like Spider's Treasure and such. But yeah, lucky me, it wasn't required. Did Lucarius check that?
I don't think either of you ever checked Venturi A, now that I think about it. You both isolated Storage C after Supers, which I think was entirely reasonable.
All right, well,
Yeah.
Lucarius is finished with a 129.33. That will finish up this race.
Yeah, another good DS3 fight there. Kind of
Indeed.
hybrid strat of the Dark Beam and the Screw Attack. But yeah, no centers today.
Indeed, you love to see that.
Unfortunately, Lucarius is pressed for time and will not be able to join us for an interview. But yeah, GG's Lucarius. Hope you enjoy watching this back. If you do, good luck. You're still in it. With this being double elimination, Lucarius' dreams are still alive. Just will have to make his way through the lower bracket.
Yeah, and the way this is going to play out is, Cestrion, you are going to face whoever wins between the two of us on Sunday.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
And Lucarius will face whoever loses between the two of us on Sunday.
Indeed.
Yeah. I
So
think,
either way, the matches are shaping up to be absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, this is going to be such a fun top 8. So much parity, I feel like, between all 8 of us. Anybody could win any match. So yeah, I think we're going to have some great
Maybe
seats for everybody.
Maybe I should like always like wake up in like 1 hour before the race, so I'm gonna like perform that good. Yeah, but I think I didn't really do any misplays, like a big. I mean, Sank entrance obviously, but otherwise, I don't think I did like really bad decisions. But maybe there's some kind of optimization you can do.
Yeah, I mean, I thought, your cleaning, your routing at the end, and your execution of all the Cobalt skips for Spider, or your Spider Guardian skips was really well done.
I am surprised I got the backup really fast, like with the transition. The door transition is really finicky.
Yeah.
There, but I got it pretty fast. I'm pretty proud of that.
That's definitely on my to learn list.
It's really worth it to learn the backup. If you mess that up, it's gonna be such a pain.
Well, with that being said, I have nothing else to ask.
Yeah, no, nothing else from me. You have
Neither
anything?
do I.
No, okay. Well, we do have another match coming up for you today at 11 p.m. Eastern. We are featuring Bash Prime versus Intersplice on SpeedGaming Prime channel. That should be another good one, so stay tuned for that.
Is our commentator spots open still, or
There is still a spot right now, yeah.
I might.
And then after that, Baja and I have our matchup on Sunday evening at 7 p.m. Eastern. So, yeah, that's going to be a good one, folks.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
Me too.
All right,
I guess-
well...
Oh, good.
No, you're good. I was just going to say, definitely, again, a great GG's to our runners today, Cestrion and Lucarius. Give them both a follow. They've done a fantastic job for you here today. Shout-outs to our tracker, Gollop, who did all the hard work pushing all the buttons, making sure everybody knows who has what. And Baja, thank you for letting me join you here in the booth this afternoon.
Yeah, always a pleasure coming with you, Captain. And will be a pleasure racing against you tomorrow.
Indeed, I'm looking forward to it for sure. With that said, folks, have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll see you next mission. Thanks for watching.
Take
See
care,
ya.
folks.